Caddis Maximus here, this time with a quick teardown of a hard drive. This is a 2.5-inch laptop hard drive. There's obviously plenty of videos on YouTube, so this is actually going to be pretty fast. And yes, I'll work better to try to not have such wild audio fluctuations in my videos. Anyway, all hard drives made pretty much since the late 80s, certainly since the 90s through now, any mechanical hard drives will have really strong magnets. Magnets like these are known as N50 grade neodymium rare earth magnets. These are the very powerful magnets that you see on Amazon and various YouTube videos. Hard drives have these magnets, and it's nonsensical that they have a super strong magnet, but that's how they get the mechanical heads to move back and forth, as they actually run a strong field, electromagnetic field on the head within a very strong field here. These are not handy in some situations, but in many situations they are, because they're glued to these stainless steel backplates and can be screwed down, since they are super strong magnets, and you can use these to hold tools, just all sorts of stuff. Hard drives are a cheap, easy way to get a hold of these magnets, and laptop hard drives just have smaller ones. All the drives will be star or Torx. You'll want a nice small, like maybe a phone service set, where you can have anywhere from T3 up through T10 in every increment. You need T3, 4, 5, 6, etc. On these hard drives, they all are using Torx screws, and there's many times screws hidden under the stickers. So it's a really good idea to have a razor blade or something like this, just to start to get the sticker peeled off, and make sure that you don't have any hidden screws. Many times you can just feel where the screw is. In this case, we actually right here have one screw hidden under a warranty label. Let me go and peel the rest of this off. Here we are. In this case, we can see we had one under that sticker, and we had 3 more under this sticker. Lots of times I like to pull off the control board. Newer hard drives, like this is a SATA hard drive, the boards are flipped upside down. Some manufacturers actually still have them, you would say, right side up, but Western Digital does this just to help protect the circuits during handling. In this case, we have 3 T6 screws, or excuse me, 6 T6 screws, and I'm going to go ahead and pull those out now. I got those out, and so the board just makes contact through just a little contact pad right there, and that's all there is. In this case, we have a little piece of foam, probably just to prevent any types of vibration or anything like that, and we'll peel that out of the way. So in the case of Western Digital, as we can see, they flip it upside down so that all these circuits and everything are a little bit more protected from handling, and that way none of these small surface mount components get damaged, and I think that probably does help. And the big deal about progress of electronics in the last few decades is it used to take all these specialized chips, and what they've gotten much better about is fabricating all-in-one. So hard drives of yesteryear, just tons of chips. Here, I mean, we have like a motor controller and then one chip that just does everything else, and it's pretty wild. It really looks pretty simple with those highly integrated circuits. So let's go ahead and pull this lid off. Here we go. We got all the screws out of there. Some of those can be pretty stuck, particularly the ones that are holding the magnet itself. You want to make sure you have a nice sharp bit and that you're driving straight up and down nice and square. Sometimes there's a piece of tape on the edge of the cover. You may have to remove that, and then it is sealed, because these are sealed, so you'll have to pry it up just a little bit. And voila. As soon as you open a hard drive like this, I mean, that piece of dust got in there from the moment I opened it up. But this is going to be one of the cleanest things that you'll ever physically possess. And that's what's always fascinating is because apparently when you open up a more modern hard drive, I mean, it's the definition of having something be sterile. There's not a single bacteria, particle of dust, anything. And I'm still behind the camera, so you can't see my face. You can see how reflective that is. And so in this case, we've already pulled out all the screws to the magnet, so we'll just go ahead and pry up the magnet. They are stuck together. Fortunately, they're not too bad on a laptop hard drive. And we'll just go ahead and muscle that magnet out, and this is kind of nice because it's just a thinner, slightly weaker one. Here is our motor, our spindle, and I wonder how we get that out. My understanding is you generally want to wash your hands after handling the platters themselves because of like the nanoscopic filters, but you do have to hold the platter some way to remove the center screw in order to actually remove the whole assembly, because that was a weird sound. And this screw is going to have some type of thread locker or something like that on it. So in this case, we should be able to get it apart. I should mention something else. I just pulled off the first platter, and if you ever, the platters themselves are, I mean, who knows exactly to what tolerances the flatness and the thicknesses of one of these, but it could easily be any standard. Interestingly enough, they use these ground aluminum rings to separate each of the platters. And if you're like in a machine shop, then one of these rings is going to be ground to probably more than a 10,000th of an inch. It's probably going to be measured in tens of millionths of an inch. It's a hard drive. They really are machined to those levels of precision. I totally forgot to explain some of the things I should have. I'll do that in another hard drive teardown. But the little filter that was right here, right where the platters are, that lets us know that this hard drive spun on a counterclockwise direction. And if there is any particles or anything that ends up shedding from any of the parts that are inside, then what it's designed to do is, since it's spinning, it acts like a turbine. Centripetal or centrifugal force throws it out to the outside edge, and then it throws it into this little slot, and then they have just a filter, so that acts like a catch basin. The motors are brushless motors, so I can't really make this one work. I don't have those kind of skills, and they're usually pressed into the body, but these will have, of course, very smooth bearings. And that's all there is. In this case, a 320 gig hard drive. Here's our whole head assembly. It even has the pre-processor chip, which is kind of interesting. If we zoom in here just a little bit, or a bunch, we can see that that is literally just the back of the, since it's inside a hard drive, all they have to do is just glue the actual silicon microchip right there. And we can see in this case there are 4 little heads. So this would have been 80 gigabytes per side. Another thing that's surprising actually is the mass of this head since it's such a small laptop hard drive and how fast this thing has to go back and forth, it's surprising how much it weighs. You would think it would be like a piece of plastic and it would just be absolute, you couldn't even feel it in your hand. Instead, it's actually pretty dense, with the steel bearings and this billet aluminum and the big copper coil. No wonder they need such powerful magnets. Anyway, good old Winchester hard drive. Anybody who's old who's watching my channel, I'm not that old, but if they ever heard of Winchester hard drive, that's this mechanism, and all hard drives have been like that until solid state, when they started using microchips. Anyway, just want to have my go at a hard drive teardown, and here you go. I really appreciate everybody watching and subscribing, and if you haven't subscribed, please do. Not all my videos are super wonky and have terrible audio. Anyway, see you next video.